Hi everybody, how's it going? I'm Pabs, a rice-themed VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of character design. Now, if you've been to one of these streams before, you will know that the way I usually do these things is that I use a website called thisshoedoesnotexist.com, and, recently, I say recently as though it's been a trend that has happened more than once, but recently I've been also taking the, opportunity to involve some emojis. I picked 3 randomized emojis that I also have to incorporate into the design in some way, either by its aesthetics, its actual elements, or what have you. Last time we ended up with a really boring white shoe, and we ended up with, and I'm trying to remember here. We ended up with a blue dot for the emojis. We ended up with a blue dot, the Japanese symbol, or It's interchangeable. I think it's mainly used in Japan, but it might be in China as well. But the Japanese symbol for free of charge, which I accidentally figured out was also like a Buddhist concept called like Mu or something, or Wu. And we also ended up with, I think it was a post box or like a letterbox. Somehow we ended up turning that into some mailman samurai with like blue highlights. So as you can tell, this is going to be quite an exciting time for all of us. Me most of all, because I'll have to figure, kind of jury-rig together these concepts into one finalized, cohesive end product. Cohesive might be a generous word for it as well, but it's going to be a fun time. So let's get to the working screen and we can get started. Alright. We have Clip Studio Paint open right here. We will not be using that just yet. First we need our kind of base elements. Hang on, I need to adjust the height on my chair here. There we go. That's a little better. The trick to getting good posture isn't having a fancy chair or a particularly like complex thing of equipment. The real trick to it is really just making sure your height is. Yeah, okay, I got nothing. Let honestly, I don't want to do that bit. I'm done. All right, let's just head over to the web browser. Okay, hang on. Let me put this thing in the address bar so that we can kind of just launch into it. All right. So the first website that we all need to visit is thisshoedoesnotexist.com. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a website that uses. I'm not sure how it does it. I think it essentially like takes the profiles of several hundreds of shoes and then turns out like an idea for a shoe. It's not. I don't consider this to be part of like a ban on AI art, because this is really just like a random ass shoe that does not exist. I don't know. I've been getting dicey about it, to be perfectly honest, but so far I think it's innocent enough. But let's see what it spits out this time. Oh, that is crusty. That is a crusty ass shoe. Look at it. It's like, okay, so to me, this almost looks like a mountaineering shoe or something, like with like cleats and stuff for a better grip. But it's also got like weird elements of being like a sports shoe as well. It looks like it's almost like an amphibious shoe, but like it's also meant for mountaineering. Okay, so I think that's kind of what we're going to be doing for one element of the character. So we'll just stick that in the canvas over here. And then we're going to go over to an emoji generator. And, okay, we need to, all right, let me pop the web browser back on. So we have datasets emojis, quantity 3. All right, generate that sucker. Okay, so we have somebody writing, a train, which is exciting, and an angry-looking cat. You know what? I don't think this is the worst combo we could have gotten for it. At least it's not like as, how do I put this? It's not as, like, to me, when I got the combo last time, it had like that Japanese character, which I didn't understand or know what it was. And the other time, I also forgot to turn on my background music. There we go. That should be a little better. But the other, I mean, like, these I feel like are at least coherent. They can kind of work together in some way. I think we can make this work. I do definitely see a better kind of way to do this. Like, I see a clear path forward. So I'm picturing... Okay, so obviously they're going to need to be cat gender, like cat boy / cat girl. The train is the bullet train, or the... I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be a bullet train? I think it's just a normal train. No, I think it is supposed to be like maybe a bullet train of some sort. But, okay, the bullet train might be the only one that's difficult, because, you know, mountaineering, cat, writing, that to me speaks of like a traveling journalist or something. The train might be a difficult thing to work in, though. I have made characters before that have had, like, train motifs. Like, I have a character called Tyson that has a... His outfit is supposed to be based on, like, a train conductor's outfit. Maybe a train conductor's cap or something? Well, we can figure it out more as we kind of go along. Okay. But this is generally going to kind of have, like, mountain-y clothes, like hiking clothes, hiking fashion. I think that's going to be the kind of what we work with initially. Okay. I'm almost tempted to do like one of those like big hiking dudes from Pokemon, but I've already done kind of like a very stout body shape in the last one, so I kind of want to vary it up a little bit. Granted, there's nothing stopping me from doing multiple ones, but you know, it's good to have that kind of... Just threw my pen by accident. It's good to have that kind of variety. Let me drink some water as well. Okay. Okay, definitely, they're gonna need a head. I'm gonna call it now. This character will definitely have a head of some sort. I know that sounds very basic, but there are character designs that don't involve having a head. You know, headless characters being kind of like the first thing that comes to mind. But also, like, there are characters who just have, like, their head in their torso? Like this? Like those Mario characters, I forget what their names are, but like, it's like they don't have a head, they just have like a body. It's not a Goomba. Goomba is like the opposite of that. A Goomba is like all head, you know? Okay, so what I'm picturing is maybe almost kind of like a Clark Kent kind of scenario, where the character looks very scrawny and has like a posture issue, but in reality they're like super ripped from being like from having like mountaineering experience. Yeah, so like, okay, so maybe not that, like, this kind of standing up straight kind of thing. Maybe more like a hunch, like a little bit, like kind of like a bookish hunch. Yeah, okay. And then, besides the hunch, we'll also need like... I'm worried about doing them at a 3/4 angle. I feel like you know, when you do character design, you ought to do it from like a front-facing thing. But we're here to have fun, not to be like technically perfect. So I think it's fine if we have it at a bad, you know, at a 3/4 angle rather than full head on. Yeah. Okay, then, like I said, I think the main idea is to make them wear kind of very, like, loose or form-obscuring clothing, and then have them just be absolutely ripped underneath. Okay, those thighs might be a little too big, is the thing. Like, I'm a fan of big thighs, but this is supposed to be like muscular, not like you know, muscular but not like oversized muscular, you know? Like you can tell that they work out, but it's not like, you know, a bodybuilder kind of physique. We can also incorporate some of the cat elements into this, like maybe having them be Digitrade legs, like I'm gonna need to look up like what a cat's leg looks like. I don't know, I feel like it's always rather awkward when you have to... Oh, this is a nice diagram. Alright, hang on, I'm gonna bring a picture up on screen here. Yeah, this is like a really good way of picturing what a cat's leg is supposed to be. I see, okay. Okay, so it's actually gonna be more like this, and then... boom. I see. I do wonder if that's gonna work with the shoe idea. Maybe we can, like, modify the shoe to be kind of, like, more paw-like? That might be interesting. Okay, here's an idea that I'm kind of getting in my little rice skull. Do I have a skull? Anyway, here's an idea that I'm kind of getting. So, train, bullet train may not be fully compatible. However, mountaineering... Okay, bear with me now. This is kind of like how my brain made this connection. Mountaineering uses specialized pickaxes, correct? For mountain climbing. Who else uses pickaxes? Miners, but their pickaxes are like double tipped. What are miners associated with? Those mine carts. Some of which have like those like, what do you call, like, and I associate mine carts with like also, well, first of all, mine carts are already on rails, so that's one element of it done. But I also associate them with those like weird like lever carts, you know, the ones that you see in like cartoons where it's like it's got one lever like this and the other one on the bottom, and you have to move them up and down to get anywhere. So maybe some kind of like I feel like that's a very tenuous connection though. I feel like I'm not going to be able to, I don't know, approach that very easily. It's gonna need a little bit of working with, is what I'm trying to say. Not to mention, it kind of conflicts with the idea of, like, the writing. The writing thing is what's gonna bug me the most, I think. Maybe, like... Oh, wait. What about, like, a steamer trunk? I don't know why, but I associate steamer trunks with trains. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, like these things. I think they're called steamer trunks because you put them on trains, right? Like, isn't that what it's supposed to be? Hang on, let me Google this nonsense. Why is it the third hit on this? Like, a link to a website called Amish Handcrafted. Alright, let me see here. Okay, here we go, the old-timey. What is a steamer trunk? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, the term comes from the days when people would carry these types of trunks on steamship voyages across the ocean. That explains a lot, because then that's why it looks so much more like a pirate treasure chest. I see. Hang on, let me look at this then, like train luggage. Train travel luggage, train case luggage. The problem is that if I do this, it's probably going to be like... How about a train trunk? I'll look up train trunk. No, I'm not getting a whole lot of hits for that. Yeah, and most of these look like just normal things, but... Okay, so if that's for... If a steamer trunk is for a steamship, then I do wonder if there are, like... Okay, then here's another idea. Here's an alternative to the steamer trunk. Is then we incorporate kind of like train motifs into the clothing. Yeah, okay, that could kind of work, I think. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I know how to do that. Okay. The main issue with these things I find... Hang on, and let me just like add a little piece there. I want to trim this foot out a little bit more to the side here. There we go. Then kind of moving the whole thing like this. No. Like this. The problem with a hunch with like bad posture, right? I have difficulty drawing characters with bad posture because I have a very weird sense of like what makes sense to me in terms of visual design. So, for example, like I look at this, I look at something like this, and while this is like, I want to imagine at least that this is fairly realistic for somebody with like bad posture. Like my brain is telling me, no, this is like going too far back. It looks like they're gonna fall over at any time. It looks more like they're leaning over. Let me look up bad posture. That might actually help a little bit. Bad posture standing. Okay, here we go. Here's some examples. Okay. So it looks like for a lot of these, the trick is to bring the shoulders like way too forward. Shoulders forward. Head forward. And then just kind of like jutting the hips back. So it really is kind of like what I'm picturing. It's just like maybe a little bit, yeah, maybe even more exaggerated. And maybe the reason they have such bad posture is because they're always like carrying a heavy backpack all the time. That might be a good idea. Okay. There we go. And of course they're... Oh, and maybe they have a cattail too, because, you know, we... Okay, they also have to have like a really angry expression because this cat looks absolutely pissed. Okay, that's gonna be one of the things we also do. Okay. So then maybe what we can do... Okay, I'm having some ideas for how to do this. Alright, another idea is also like having the tail be almost like a quill or like a brush. But I feel like that denotes artist more than writer, right? Okay. I do want them to have that kind of like high collar kind of going on. I do like that. I do like that idea. Okay. I feel like another good idea to kind of show off the shoes, like what they're supposed to be, is to kind of point them upward a little more even than what's on this. So like make them actual, almost like spikes kind of shoes. Man, have you guys ever run with spikes on? With spike shoes? I have, and it sucks. I mean, it's you get used to it. Excuse me. Like with many things, you get used to it, but the first couple of times you'll be like, oh man, this feels weird to walk in. And then you run and it's like, oh man, I'm going so much faster. And then like 3 hours later, you're like, why can't I feel my calves? And that's because like just the way they're built emphasizes the use of your calves. You're supposed to just the proper running technique, from what I remember in my time in a track and field club, which is where I have this experience, is that you're supposed to run with only like the tip of this, and your main goal is to be off the ground for as much as possible, while also hitting the ground as frequently as possible. That's kind of like the essential advice they gave me. Like, you run on the balls of your feet, work the calves, try to touch the ground as little as possible, but also touch it as frequently as possible, if that makes sense. Like, when your foot makes contact with the ground, don't let it be there for too long. Like, you want your foot to touch, to like basically just tap the ground and then go back and then tap it with the other one, and then you just kind of keep doing that over and over and over. And that's kind of like the way that I learned to run in that track and field club. I'm gonna say, like again, something that I say a lot about my time in that club is that it's the best shape I've ever been in, because I'm not a really cardio heavy guy. I wish I was a more cardio heavy guy. It's just better for you in general to be cardio heavy. You know, assuming you're not like a bodybuilder or a wrestler or something, and even then, you know, you want to have that kind of cardio and stamina, because there's just like no downside to having good cardio. There's no downside to having big muscles either, but like, you know, cardio is just extremely useful in your day-to-day life. Okay. Then, okay, and I think like with having that, like this shoulder position locked down, what we can do is actually erase these like arms that are just kind of like dangling, and then have them like be on a pen pad. Do like hardcore hikers have like good upper bodies? I feel like their upper bodies would be like significantly less developed than their lower bodies. Like, their lower bodies would be absolutely ripped and a half, but... Is that a phrase, ripped and a half? I don't think it is. Anyway, I imagine that for a mountain hiker, their lower body would be extremely well built, but their upper body would be, you know, on the skinnier side. I'm assuming, especially assuming that, like, they're not... You know, it's not like a vertical mountain hiking where you have to use, like, an ice pick and everything, and it's just, like, normal hiking. Yeah. God, remember, I know that, like, there's a very famous brand of books called, like, Moleskines or something. I remember somebody else telling me that they're actually really bad. I've had conflicting reports on the quality of Moleskine. You know, on the one hand, they have, like, that premium price, they look very cool, and they have, like, nice covers, but on the other hand, I have heard, like, essentially a bunch of people saying, like, yeah, it's basically overpriced. I don't know what to believe. Thankfully, I'm good enough just, like, using dollar store friggin' notebooks forever. I've become very dependent on this one specific brand for work. I use a notebook a lot at work, mainly to keep track of my time during the day, because I have to submit timesheets at the end of the day, but essentially, I use those a lot for work, and they've been doing me pretty well. It's like the perfect size. Not too big, but not too small. It's always nice it's always a little bit terrifying when you find, like, the perfect equipment for you, or when you get used to specific equipment. Because for me, my worry is that eventually they'll stop stocking them, and I'll have to, like, switch to a new brand, and that'll be, like, a whole thing and a half, which I'm not eager to get into. Okay, give the shoes big old sharp teeth. I feel like I should also get... Yeah, I feel like this character would be funny as a lady. So I'm going to give her, like, a... If you've ever gone hiking, you might notice that some people have, like, these sticks that they use. So they look a little bit like this, essentially. They help you kind of, like, on your hiking journey, and I want to give her one of those. And I know a lot of these are basically telescopic, because you need to be able to adjust them for your own height. I almost want to bring her head a little bit more forward too, to really emphasize the bad posture. Okay. So we've got the basic body down, so I think now we can move on to clothing. Is this a good color? Yeah, I think that's a good color. Okay, so... Is there a hairstyle associated with trains, besides like shaping your hair into a train? There isn't, right? I don't imagine there can be. I'd like to see it. Hang on, let's do a quick Google a little Google search could be heard. Train hair. No, this is okay. When I Google train hair, it's more about hair training than actual hair that you set up for the train, which makes sense because now saying that sentence out loud, you know, hair for a train, makes me sound like a deranged person. So maybe it's for the best that there isn't a specific kind of thing for that. Okay. Okay, here's an idea then. Luggage compartment. Is there a specific way that like a luggage compartment looks like in a train? Luggage car train. Okay, so baggage cars, right? And actually, while I'm at it, steam train front. Oh, this is a nice one. I'm a steam locomotive, yeah, I'm burning hot. Alright. So, can I actually grab these real quick and just drop them in here? And actually, can we actually bring in the bullet train aesthetic is my question. Hang on, we might be able to do something with that. Let me grab a picture of like a bullet train or something. Are there any other ones? Wait, I think this might just be a normal train emoji, because when I look up a bullet train emoji, I don't think... Yeah. I think we just have a normal train emoji. Because the bullet train emoji is actually from the side. You can see it here. So wait, what do we have then? Do we just have like a normal train emoji? Oh, yeah, it's just a normal rail transportation emoji. Okay, so maybe... How do we approach this? Okay, so maybe, train head. Train head? Is that, would you call it a train head? I don't even friggin' know anymore. Contemporary train. Okay, here we go. This is slightly more kind of what I think the emoji was trying to picture. Contemporary metro? No, the metros have a much flatter looking head, I think. Yeah, their heads are flat rather than pointed. Which makes sense, since metros don't need to go necessarily super fast, they just need to go... period. They just kind of gotta go. Okay. Alright, let me get rid of the bullet train references then, because what we need then is... I think... These are very small images. This one's the biggest one. But it's not quite the same as the other ones. Hang on. Oh. Alright, hang on. Should I grab this one? I feel like this one's not quite the kind of train that they're thinking of. Okay. So here are my thoughts. Alright. So first of all, spiked Digitrade shoes, perfect. That's good. For the pants, I am wondering if maybe we should give them leggings or something. Like I said, I kind of want to make them look very, very unassuming, very kind of Clark Kent kind of a feel. So then maybe like, okay, maybe like, do hikers wear glasses? Is that a thing that you can do when you hike? I feel like it is. I feel like it would have to be, you know, if you wear glasses normally, you would have to wear glasses while you hike, because otherwise you might not see where you're going. Okay, I'm getting hiking sunglasses, but no glasses specialized for hiking, which makes sense because, like, I feel like if you need to wear glasses, you can just wear your normal glasses. They're not gonna be... Oh, these are neat, though. Yeah, mesh sunglasses. I've never really understood the concept of mesh sunglasses, because to me it personally feels like you're getting the worst of both worlds, because you're obscuring your vision in a way that's not like, oh, like transparent. Like, this is an opaque blocker, and while that can work, it also lets, like, air through. Which is a good alternative if you don't want to get your, like, face fogged up, but, like, your lenses fogged up, but I just never understood them, you know? I never understood whether they look good or not. I think for some reason in the 2010s they had, like, a reputation of making you look like a douchebag, and I don't think they've managed to shake that off just yet. I don't know, maybe they have. I'm not a huge fashion guy. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, alright? Beanie that looks like the head of this train, right? So that's gonna look a little bit like... almost like this. Like a very kind of dynamic beanie. Aerodynamic. Like that Pipo hat from Disco Elysium. And of course with two little holes for the ears. Okay. Then maybe for the hair as well, what we can do is also make an allusion to the train thing by making... Okay, so hear me out. We have two strands of hair, and they are connected by pins all along the side. By like bobby pins or something to make them look like rail tracks. I feel like that's something. I feel like that is something that we can do. Okay. Yeah, that kind of like half curly, you know, kind of like a split ends kind of look is also good, I think. Like short-ish curly hair. Or, you know, medium curly hair. Or hair that curls at the end. I don't know what you'd call this kind of hairstyle. I need to, like, watch videos of, like, barbers or something to get a better clue of, like, what each hairstyle is called. No, I feel like you need to have these disconnected almost. Okay, and then the big question, do I give her like a proper snout or like a human face? For the cat thing. I think normal human face might be the way to go for this one. Okay, so maybe like that, and then more bobby pins. I don't think bobby pins maybe for like the top part. We leave her. No, I think she needs bangs. She needs like some bangs out here. And then I think, like, to kind of really emphasize the writer thing, just, like, some very thick-looking... That's a little too thick. So maybe... I don't know, what would make it look more like a train, these glasses? I think maybe, like, having them have, like, little shaders like this? No, that looks deranged, but it looks kind of cool, though. I want to give it a try. I do want to give it a try, so hang on. Wait, what if I made them... No, they can't work like this because these are too vertical. But something like this up top, that might work. I feel like the beanie also almost kind of also answers the question of, wait, but if she has cat ears, then how does she also have glasses down here? I've always thought that's always bothered me a little bit, you know, with animal characters. It's just like the quantum existence of whether or not they also have human ears. A lot of places skirt around it by just having them be covered up like this, and I think that's not a bad one. Oh yeah, she's also supposed to look pissed as hell. I need to remember to do that, but... Okay, these glasses first, though. And I've got to reduce the size of this eraser, too. Oh, yeah. Okay, I need to make her look... Alright, I wonder if... There's a way... Hang on. Gotta finish this other pair of weird glasses first. I wonder if the reason she's so mad is because she doesn't have, like, full peripheral vision on account of her weird train-themed glasses. I know that would make me quite upset. Yeah, she looks angry. Wait. Little Fang. There we go. And then maybe what I can do for the jacket itself. Okay, so luggage container backpack idea that I was talking about earlier. I think that's still definitely on the table. I will need a... How do I describe this? Reference of like a hiking backpack. One of these really tall ones. Yeah. These bad boys. Alright, stick that here. Flip that around. Am I doing this on the right layer? Which layer am I doing this on? Oh, the same one as this one, huh? I can probably fix that, hang on. Let me drink some water. I have good memories of hiking. I had a lot of fun hiking with my family as a kid. Oh yeah, on a completely unrelated note. Alright, so when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of like American fruits growing up. And when I went into an area that had like more American residents, I remember one of them actually talked about a type of crustless sandwich called an Uncrustable. And I mentioned this because recently it turns out that the company that makes those sandwiches, the Smucker's company or whatever the hell it's called, apparently got into a fight with a smaller firm. Hang on, I gotta like... Okay. So these things have like wraps around the waist and around this part here. The shoulders. I forgot the word for shoulder. Then they kind of like veer off like this, and this one almost kind of like vents off into the side like this. which is good because then we have more space for like this like weird neck thing that I'm giving her. Neck thing, the hood, the the collar. That's what that is. Anyway, I mentioned this because apparently the people who make Uncrustables got into a fight with a company called like Gallant Tiger that makes similar crustless sandwiches. And the Gallant Tiger's defense was, and I quote, "There's only so many shapes you can make a sandwich into." Which honestly, 100% understandable. Like, you're not going to be able to come up with that many shapes for a sandwich unless you're some kind of sandwich expert, I think. Okay. I feel like the legs need to be a little bit longer, honestly. There's no object to transform. Which layer am I doing this on? Hang on. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here we go. Alright, hang on. First, just gotta stretch these guys out. Then I gotta go move this whole thing up. Alright, hang on. Okay, what would I call this layer? Details. And this one's gonna be like body sketch. Okay. Then the next part of this would I imagine would be. Alright, I don't like how that turned out. I'm gonna need to look up like hiking jacket or something, right? Alright, so these are pretty simple, but they are more or less what I was expecting. High collar, maybe some kind of like hard shell jacket component. Oh, this can maybe be like the cattle catcher thing on the trains. Hang on. Although it almost looks like a knight's headpiece or mouthpiece or what have you. Mouthguard? Mouthpiece? Here we go. But yeah, the fact that the Gallant Tiger's entire defense against the lawsuit was like, there's only so many shapes you can cut a sandwich into is just so funny to me. You have like this big company who's like doing their usual thing and being like, no, we have to protect our IP, and then there's the perfectly reasonable argument of you're not some kind of brain genius for figuring out that you can turn a sandwich into a circle, particularly when you're making crustless sandwiches. It's just kind of common sense, man. So no, I do respect that. All right. Okay, so here's the main big question though. Do I put like the little like train whistle thing on this side? Nah, I would have to put it on like. Yeah, I think it would have to be like smaller and also almost like unnoticeable and tucked out behind the ear here. Then, okay, we need another bit of the collar back here. Okay, and then for the actual luggage, I want to add some more details. So I think like maybe... Alright, the way we do this is then grab this, we flip it around on its side here. Because I feel like the wheels would be better suited to be on the side like this. Or... No, I do think this is the correct direction. This is the way that we should do it. Okay. So we'll have... Okay, so we need, like... It's almost like a vertical duffel bag at this point. Okay. I don't know what these studs are going to be. Maybe they're just like metal plating or like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of like, oh, what they could be then is maybe some kind of like, not rivets, but you know, like how some luggage will have, you know, some soft body luggage will have a kind of like thing on the bottom made of like hard rubber or plastic that'll like let you set the bag down easier on that. So it has like a solid base. Maybe it'll be like that. I actually really enjoy like backpacks, you know, like I it's not like I do research into them, but I do enjoy myself a good backpack or a good bag, a good bit of luggage. Yeah, I've done a lot of like, I've traveled a decent amount, so I've kind of gotten a bit of how do I put it? I've learned to have standards when picking my luggage containers. That is, I mean, obviously my luggage itself too, but okay. So then maybe we can stylize this as a side pocket with a zipper of some sort. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. There we go. Okay. So then we're going to do this part here like that. And then this part over here like this. I don't know if that's too obviously a train. I think it's a fine thing if it's like very obviously supposed to be a train, because that means we've accomplished our mission, right? What's this thing in the middle here supposed to be? Like some kind of... Oh, it's to like tether it to another train? I see. Yeah, I do feel like this is missing something here. Like, you know, there is that thing of like cat girls wearing like bell collars or whatever, but I think like it might actually be a good idea if we have some kind of like thing here. Oh, this can be for like the like collar tightening. Okay, yeah, that works. I think that makes sense. All right, then. The hiking jacket itself. The problem with hiking jackets is that they're hyper-functional, which is to say that a lot of them look rather boring. You know, they're useful, but they are rather boring. All right, how about this one? Okay. That will also mean that these like side collars would have to be attached to the center of this somehow, which I think creates a very nice kind of like middle track. Okay. Wrong layer, but that's fine. Okay, then... Okay, these have like little like pockets on the side. I am wondering if there's any other way I can like introduce train motifs into this outfit, into this jacket. I think I'll have to draw more of it before I can get that opportunity, though. Okay. I might do a slightly different color for this part of here as well. So maybe more like a brighter red? Yeah, no, that doesn't show up well enough. Maybe like a darker... No, that also doesn't show up quite well enough. These two are basically indistinguishable, so I'll need maybe brighter. Yeah, okay. Okay. There we go. What can we do to add more, like, train motifs to this, is my question. I don't know if you guys can hear the sirens. There seems to be some kind of police car running around. Actually, I'm not sure if that is a police car siren. A lot of the emergency services around here have a very similar sounding siren, which makes it an exciting guess to see whether somebody's in trouble, somebody's on fire, or somebody needs to go to the hospital real fast. It's almost never my business, though. Unless the sirens are getting louder and they're heading towards me. In which case, it's usually a fire. I remember one time there was like a fire alarm thing that happened in my apartment complex, which was that there was... I was in the gym at the time. My apartment complex has a little like gym built inside of it. So I was at the gym at the time, and the alarm started ringing, and I was like, man, are we really doing this? I had to essentially like wait for half an hour outside. I got myself like a little drink from a nearby pharmacy, or drugstore, I guess is the term. The fact that like they're called pharmacies here, but the technical term is like drugstore, always throws me off. It's like a Walgreens essentially, but I got some drinks from there, and I basically got like 3 different drinks there, and I basically waited it out. Yeah, here's a neat trick that I found out about writing, is that if you make... So, the trick is as follows. You... Excuse me. The trick is as follows. You select an area to make the text. You do, like, some huge random scribbles on it. It's going to be very difficult to look at with all the bright red. And then... what you do is you actually like go line by line like this. Essentially doing very neat lines of text, and apparently that's supposed to be able to help a little bit with making like fake text on books. I imagine the pen you would have to use is a lot lighter, or more thin than mine, but the principle is kind of understandable, right? That looks more... Is it just me, or does the text on the back of the notebook look a little bit demonic? I think it's a bright red, and the fact that it's all like one steady column. Because like the fact that I don't think like people would write that neatly, right? You would need to have like different parts and smudges and like parts left blank here. I know something that I always do is that I always like have little squares and stuff when I write stuff. Like the way I was taught to take notes is that you need to be able to use a lot of bullet points, and that you need to be able to like circle stuff and circle back to stuff physically almost. So that's kind of the way I learned to take notes. Main thing I can do for the train conductor vibe is to actually like make it a cross thing like this, and then just have the things look like this, because I think train conductor jackets look like that. I'm pretty sure from the research I remember doing. Okay, and then hiking pants. We're gonna need to figure out what hiking pants look like. Yeah, I think they're just like cargo pants, honestly. Hiking clothing, like I said, is very strange because it's not particularly... hiking clothes are not particularly complicated. They're not very like flashy, but they are either brightly colored or they have like something going on, right? It's like a couple of things to think about. Okay, hang on. Let me just copy and paste this image though. Not to mention, there's an exciting new challenge in the fact that I'll have to make them suitable for Digitrade legs. So that's always exciting. Okay. So these are kind of like going like this. The crotch I feel like would be a little bit higher. The seat of the pants. Yeah, not too tight, but not tight as well. Not too loose. I forgot the word loose for a second. Yeah, the reason I'm not making this last part too muscular looking, besides the fact that, like I said, I'm kind of going for like a lean muscle kind of idea, is the fact that this is supposed to be like analogous to our toe finger. Does that make sense? If that makes sense. Yeah, cat legs are, at least compared to humans, very weird. Does this freaking thing have laces? Yes, it does. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Wait, I think what might be a good idea then is to have these kind of like go into like 5 claws, like a cat's claws. Cats can have 5 or 4 claws, depending on like which cat you have. It's kind of very it's very randomized. Gonna give her some beans down here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then that's also gonna I don't know, do these have pointed ends? They kind of do, but they kind of don't. I'm gonna figure out what's like a happy medium for these guys. Maybe like that? I think so. Okay, and then I can put like a little cloth pattern like these guys have on it after this. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Hang on, and then I also gotta like, this shoe is in a weird shape, I think. The shape is slightly weirder now, but I think it's slightly better as well. I'll also give her like a white undershirt to kind of match this thing here. I also kind of want to give her I want to make her use an ink pen, but I don't think that's a great idea. I don't think that's a clever thought. I feel like her whole character points to this being like a ballpoint pen, or like not a fountain pen or anything. Okay, and then maybe a little hole for the tail back here. Yeah, I think she looks appropriately stressed out. Okay. I think now we can start going on to the inking stage. Again, it's kind of bothering me a little bit, right? Like, I'm used to having like characters having more like reasonable posture, but that's not really the point. I mean, hang on, if I erase this, or like I need to there's something that's bugging me about this that I can't put my finger on. Maybe flipping the canvas will help. Yeah. Because see, that's almost like too much, right? I feel like that's almost too much in terms of like lean forward. So I think what I can do is maybe even like grab the top half of the torso. It feels like the torso is not aligned with the legs. And again, that's kind of the point, but like it feels like the torso and the legs are too separate. I need to like merge them a little bit closer together. There we go. And then, again, just kind of like stretch this out so it doesn't look so stubby. The shoe, again, is also bothering me. And again, like, that's correcting the posture. That's, again, kind of not what I'm aiming here to do. There we go. Okay, I think now we're ready to move on to inking. Let's get rid of all these other reference pictures. Except the train one. We might need that one for the hat, because I think, like, as it is, it's not particularly precise. Okay. I think it's a good idea that I give myself so much space to work on for these canvases, even though I don't use too much of it. Because I always end up like getting a ton of reference images in here and almost never using all of them. It's a little bit of a precaution, but I think I want to almost like take a little break here and lean back a little. Drawing this person's bad posture must have wrecked my posture too. I want to take a nap today. I think I'm going to take a nap after I finish the stream. I should drink some water. That's what I should do. Alright, let me just take a quick stretch break. Oh yeah. I saw another bit of news that said that apparently LEGO is making a replica Eiffel Tower. Well, not a replica. So they're releasing a model kit that looks like the Eiffel Tower, and apparently it has 10,001 pieces. I will say that like one of the things that kind of helped me become who I am today is the fact that as a kid I had like a whole tub. Like my brother and I would just ask our parents to buy us Lego kits, and we would build them and then disassemble them and then just add the component bricks into a big pile, into like this huge tub that we had of Lego bricks, and then we would just like have that big repository of Lego bricks to just build whatever the hell we wanted with, and it was so much fun. I'm not even kidding. It was like one of the best toys that I had as a kid. Just a big tub of Lego bricks that we could do whatever the hell we wanted with. Alright. Yeah, there needs to be like some kind of government program to subsidize that for every child in America. I mean, granted, there's a lot of good other stuff that needs to be subsidized first, but I'm just saying it would be funny. I'm saying it couldn't hurt, is what I'm saying. It's not gonna fix anything, but it's not gonna hurt. Certainly. Okay. There we go. Let me bring this thing up a little bit closer to the head so I can examine it. The shape of it is just very unique. It's like, okay, so we have a front bit here, which leans back, and then there's another front bit. And this kind of goes on like this. But yeah, that's kind of like where the idea of this plastic shell for the beanie came in from. I imagine this would make the beanie just utter hell to wash. But you know, it's not like beanies are easy to wash to begin with, so whatever. I do wonder like what the purpose of it would be though. Like, is it supposed to be like almost like a helmet? I don't know. I feel like I don't know how good for insulation a hard plastic cap might be. I feel like plastic does not have particularly good heat insulation, depending on like how it is made. Because I know like microfiber blankets, for example, have like get you nice and toasty, but those are like little plastic hairs that they essentially have. So I'm not sure like what hard plastic would do for insulation for somebody. But it does look cool though, and that's kind of like that's kind of the main point of it. Is, you know, that this idea would be dope as hell, and it works thematically with what we're trying to go with. So just throw it in. Okay, that's this over here. I do like to imagine that these things do actually have like functional headlights though. I don't know why, I just think that it would be funny. Yeah, it has like this like tall one up here in the middle for like just general light, and then the smaller ones in the front that are kind of like front facing to like see where you're going ahead. I feel like that would be cool. All right. Awesome. Okay, then next up is the hair. Something that I've been meaning to do, right? Something that I want to try to get better at, and something that I've noticed. I recently saw some comic artwork where I was thinking to myself, okay, one, this is an awesome art style, and two, they have like very good. I don't know how to describe it. It's very easy to describe. It's very like if you see it, you'll know exactly what I mean, but it's very difficult for me personally to describe it. Like, the line weight is really good. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It feels like every single line has a very deliberate amount of force put into it. I want to learn how to do that, because I feel like after like an hour or so of drawing, I just kind of like, I don't know how to put it. Like, my stamina to give it like 110% kind of craps out, and I start to get a little bit like lazy with my lines. I don't know how else to put it. It's like, lazy isn't even the right word. It's like, my lines start looking the same. And I don't know if that's a quirk of working on a drawing tablet. I don't think it is, because I've seen people who also are able to do that with a drawing tablet. I feel like, you know what I think it might be? I think it's that I need to not only use the form of the line for 3D conceptualization. Like, you can, the way these lines are arranged, you can kind of tell that this thing wraps around her head. But I think it's also in the idea of, okay, so parts that are closer to the camera would be thicker, and then parts that are further away from the camera would be thinner. And it's kind of achieving that as an idea that is throwing me off a little bit. Also, their lines can be like nice and thin. I'm not sure how they do it. I want to know how they manage to pull that off. They might be using like photo scanning and then, you know, finishing it in digital, or I don't know. I don't know what their process is, and I want to learn more. They might have written it down somewhere, so I'll have to look for that. But I want to learn more about how to manipulate line weight like that. Okay, so the hardest part might actually be the glasses here. Well, hardest is not the right word. So the most difficult, the most complicated part might actually be the glasses. Because of they are just like very unique shape. Because I feel like unless you're supposed to know that these are supposed to look like train headlights, that's not what they're going to look like at first. Actually, no, that kind of works. I feel like that works. We can just kind of run that back a little bit. Yeah, a little bit further back. Again, I'm not sure if glasses like this exist in real life, and if they do, I'm not sure how comfortable they would be to wear. But this is a fantasy design, so I don't need to really worry about anything. How did that one meme go? It's like, it's magic. I don't have to explain anything. That's the same vibe that I usually go for in terms of character design. I want to have, you know, I don't know when it happened, but I'm kind of obsessed with including some elements of... Realism is not the right word. Realism might be the right word. I'm not sure, but essentially what I want is that when I create a character, I'm not just thinking like, okay, what will look sick as hell, but also like, what would be functional? What could I justify to myself that this character would have? Because obviously you could go for like a maximalist, super awesome, and super tricked out design that has like a bunch of components that to me, you know, that look cool, but to me don't read as being anything in particular or anything that could be achieved with actual clothing. And that's kind of like a personal trait of mine. I don't know, like everybody has a certain degree of tolerance for that, right? Like everybody goes like, okay, yeah, no, this, you know, like having like a Salvador Dali type tie that just kind of flies up on its own is gonna be like a bridge too far for a lot of people. But like, you know, that's not always the case. I don't know why I said Salvador Dali type tie when I was describing that, because I don't think Salvador Dali ever really commented on ties. His work never really explored the theme of ties as a garment. So I think that might have been a little bit of an inappropriate comparison, but I think the point got across regardless. My other worry... First of all, I left out the cat ears, which is a horrendous crime. Okay, I think like if I want to add the cat ears, they would have to be like... They would have to be quite tall, is the thing. In order to read them more clearly as being a separate part of the design. There we go. Maybe over here? That one's too high, though. That one needs to be on the other side. There we go. A little better. A little far apart as well, but... we'll do what we can. I think a lot of that line art thickness that I was talking about, the tricks to that, is also just being able to control your own strength. Like I said, I think my issue is that after I draw for a while, I stop being able to like control my strength with my strokes so much. So what ends up happening is that I just get a lot of samey looking strokes because I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm just like going by road. And I notice this is particularly noticeable when I'm doing like backgrounds and everything. So I need to be a little bit better with that. I want to learn how to work that a little better. I am very proud of the idea of like the hair clips being like train tracks. I don't know how, again, everybody has like an upper limit for how weird the clothes can get. I feel like this is not too unrealistic, but it would be a real pain in the butt to set up in real life. I don't think hair clips work this way. Then again, I haven't really used hair clips. I used to use some bobby pins back in the day when back in 2020, when I grew out my hair, I did use some bobby pins before I cut it short because it was just getting too difficult to manage. And I've mentioned this before on stream. If you let a masculine haircut grow out, eventually it's going to turn into a mullet. So it's not really a proposition that I am interested in partaking. So I ended up using a lot of bobby pins back in the day to kind of tame my hair into a more manageable design. I say design, into a more manageable shape. Okay. There we go. I wanted to like emulate the idea that she has like very crusty lips, but I don't think that's possible without like making it look like she's like squeezing her mouth shut. Oh no, wait, I think that works. I don't know, I just want this girl to look like extremely rough. I don't know. I know that artists have like a reputation for being like coffee-based life forms and not getting enough sleep. But I think writers are also have like a similar reputation, except like they have to. I'm not sure. I think like everybody's perception of what like an artist and a writer should look like vary from person to person. I know that, for example, like writers are, you know, there's like this stereotype, right, of like a writer who just like drinks alcohol and coffee and basically just sits at their desk all day typing out 3 letters before giving up for the day. I think for artists, there's also like another one, you know, their stereotypes are more based around like psychedelic substances or whatever. I'm not sure. I haven't been to enough art institutions to either confirm or deny any of these stereotypes. Yeah, I mean, I guess these types of glasses would be good for keeping the sun out of your eyes. That is one thing they would be good for, maybe keeping the sun out of your eyes. But I can't. Again, I'm having a hard time justifying it to myself. What kind of person, or you know, anybody would need these types of glasses for? I do want to try and justify it to myself, but I don't think that's a winning proposition. Oh well, she has them now. It's just her life. Yeah, on the bright side, if I ever do need to rebrand, if I just keep making these shoe designs, I'll eventually have like 5 billion ones to go around. So if I ever need like a backup V2 persona, I'll have one ready and on lock. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to abandon my rice sona. Like I feel like this is just too much of a part of me now. Let's see here. Okay, just kind of cross that bit out and then just have this up here. Now a little button up here to adjust the knot there. There we go. Wait, hang on. How would this work even? If there's this little like knot here for the, oh dear, I think I might have accidentally made it so that this neck. Okay, so I think like essentially what I've done here, purely in my innocence and by accident, is that you can't take this jacket off unless you like pull it over your head, because this thing would be like locked tight. There's no real point to the buttons here then. I thought the entire point of codes were that you can take them on and off whenever you wanted. Oh boy. Alright, well, we'll add that to the list of impracticalities in this hiking outfit, but on the bright side, it does look nice. That's something it's got going for it. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to bring this together now. Like, how am I going to... How will I make this so that it has a actual, like, thing to it? How about... Ah, screw it. I'll figure it out or I won't. I'll leave it alone for now. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I learned the other day that apparently we finally achieved nuclear fusion, which is pretty tight. Yeah, the sun was complaining about it, saying that it was like gonna cramp his style or something, but I think it's a good step forward. You know, I think it's always awesome when we make a big scientific breakthrough like that. Obviously, the technology is nowhere near enough to like providing infinite energy for anything, but you know, at least for the moment, it looks like we can't use it to make a gun that can fire miniature suns. So I think for the moment we're fine. The technology is harmless as it is. You know, like that is my number one concern is that this doesn't end in like free energy for everybody forever, and instead ends with a gun that can launch miniature suns. That would be a little terrifying. The sun itself is kind of terrifying, as it is normally, and you know that's the way he likes it. But I would personally rather not get a sun shot at me, even in a hypothetical scenario. Granted, you could just move out the way like you could with anything, but I don't think, you know, it's a concern. I'm not going to lie. It's just like a little concern of mine that this is going to end with a gun that can shoot out a sun. Okay, so we'll add a couple little backpack straps right here. Don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it. There we go. Okay. Then over here. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, I think like the neat thing about having a lot of experience with art is that once you realize the trick to how something you like looks, it's much easier to kind of pick that up for yourself. Because like right now, I'm liking how these lines are turning out. I'm enjoying how they have like those varied thicknesses, and it's kind of because I am thinking about it much more now that I'm conscious of it. You know, once you realize where your dissatisfaction lies, yes, it can be difficult to break your habit, but in terms of like art output, it becomes easier to not fix maybe, but become aware of a habit and take measures to mitigate it once you realize what's going on. That's one thing that I like about art and and having like this much practice with it. Go. I can probably take away the picture of this train over here now. Okay, so I'm gonna like grab these, simplify them. Turn them around vertical like. May flatten them a little bit too. Twist them around like this, and then bring them in here. Does that work? I think that works. I'm hoping that works. Okay. Here we go. Goodness. I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that it's been a rather long week for me. I don't know, this week feels like it went by quickly, but every single one of those days I felt like I was fighting for my life. Have you guys ever had weeks like that? Yeah, it was one of those weeks for me. But thankfully a lot of stuff that I would worried about having undone has been done. You know, that's one of my favorite phrases, I think. Was it from Macbeth? I think it was from Macbeth. Essentially, the phrase goes like, nothing has been left undone or something. Or no, I think for Macbeth it's like, what's done cannot be undone, or something like that. But no, where does that come from? Like, I remember there's a phrase in poetry like, nothing has been left undone or something. I think it might have actually been from the Jean Anouilh version of Antigone. Yeah, I think like towards the end, when the chorus is like talking about like how fucked up all the events in the play were, they were like, okay, you know, the tragic figures have all bitten the dust, everything's been settled, war is coming, nothing has been left undone. And I think that was like the... Now, was it from that? I don't remember which one it was from, but that's a phrase that, you know, while that phrase is supposed to be like foreboding, I think, it's always brought me a little bit of comfort, knowing that everything that needs to be done has been done and dusted, you know? Like, that's kind of my cue to be like, okay, now I can finally stop worrying about stuff. I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. Probably that I have, like, anxiety or something, but... That's fine. And like that's just kind of how like my perspective is of it. I can't rest easy until I know that everything's been sorted. And well, for the moment, most of the things have been sorted, so I can half rest easy, if that makes sense. Okay, so like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm like 80% rested. I think that's a fair amount. That's a fair estimate. Like, it's not full 100% rested and, like, you know, no longer worried. That's probably gonna come sometime next Thursday, I'm gonna say. Friday, maybe. But yeah, that's I think that's kind of my current timeline. Is I'm not gonna worry about, you know, I until next Thursday. I'm still gonna have a couple of things to worry about, but most of the big ones are out of the way. This weekend's probably also gonna, you know, the rest of this weekend I'm also probably going to be spending making sure that I've got everything under control. You know, pushing that 80% to 100. Oh, hey, Wari, how's it going? We are on the inking stage of making this. All right, so let's do a quick recap of what went into this. So we started off with this shoe design made from like a bunch of different shoe designs cobbled together. There's a website called like thisshoedoesnotexist.com. We started with this one, which is where I got the idea for like mountaineering, and then doing good. Just made someone eat a teaspoon of instant coffee mixed with salt. I've actually done that before on purpose. I'll get more into it, but yeah, so it's this shoe plus these 3 emojis, which have led to this creation. I feel like I could definitely emphasize the train aspect a little more, but it's, you know, it's a work in progress. But yeah, I have actually done that before, taken coffee with salt. I remember I did that one time during final season in my stint in university, because I figured, you know, at that point my sleep-deprived brain was like, okay, we need salt to function. We also need coffee for awakeness. Therefore, coffee with salt is the ultimate, most efficient drink. Oh no, it wasn't liquid? Oh no, indeed. Yeah, that's definitely an oh no kind of situation. Oh wait, no, that was more of an oh no, of like, oh no, it wasn't liquid. That's more of an clarification, oh no. But that's still an oh no kind of situation, period. If it's not too personal, can I ask why you did that? Out of curiosity? Some scheme towards vengeance, perhaps? I imagine you didn't just do it for fun. They were streaming and it was funny. Okay, yeah, it was for fun. Well, when they get out of the hospital, give them my regards, okay? Yeah, eating powdered substances is always a little bit of a risky gamble. I then clipped it and edited the Minecraft damage sound over it. I feel like the Minecraft damage sound almost isn't enough. I feel like you need like that sound of like the Doom 1 and Doom 2 Space Marine zombies, kind of like going like, oh, like that over it. That sounds like agony. The red screen flashing was there too. Wow, you were thorough. Yeah, good work on the video editing then. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't do me like that, right? Like you wouldn't make me eat a spoonful of salt. I always put more effort in if it's funny. That's a fantastic work ethic. Yeah, that's a work ethic right there. It's fine to put in a little bit more effort if it will be funnier. But yeah, please don't do me like that. Rice doesn't taste particularly good when it's boiled with coffee. Although, to be fair, I've never tried, so who knows? It might be like a secret life hack, like when you mix salt in a milkshake. Who knows? I'm not like familiar enough with the science. Oh no, I only did it because someone already made them eat a teaspoon of coffee without the salt. Well, I don't have any questions about that. I don't think there's any questions about like whatever life this person leads. It is fascinating to me. You ever just like hear about somebody else's life, and it's not necessarily jealousy, but more like morbid curiosity about like the decisions and actions that led them to that state. I'm kind of experiencing that right now. That's kind of my take on the situation. I don't understand I understand the how perfectly, and I don't really care for the why. It's just kind of like, well, no, the tactical how has been answered. They're playing Project Zomboid at the time. Now, at the time, do you mean when they ate the one with the salt or the one without salt? Is my question. There's no big difference between the two, but I feel like I need to know this for posterity. Both. It does feel like it's that kind of game. They are still playing it. All right. If they're still streaming that by the time I'm done here, I'm definitely gonna try to rate them. This was on stream. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm putting together a timeline of the events now as well. Like, that's you're definitely industrious. I will say that. I know that I've done a thing where like I've drawn fan art of somebody. Like I remember for one of V's streams, I drew fan art of her when she revealed her new outfit. So their name is Siege Barista. Oh, I know that person. I know them. They also drank coffee out of a pepper once, right? Like one of those like bell peppers. They drank coffee out of that. One of those ones once. I remember that. I remember seeing that on Twitter. They're definitely braver than I am. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think my upper limit of coffee wackiness is definitely gonna be like salt coffee. And again, it's not something that I do regularly. Also, Gamagachi is there, and I got her to do the coffee thing too, but without the salt. I'm just wondering about, like, you know, obviously you do it, you know, nobody does this shit because it's easy, right? But like, I am wondering about the logistics of, I mean, obviously it doesn't pay, I paid them. I don't know if that makes, I think that makes this slightly better. Good grief. You've been certainly productive today, then. Well, no, I feel like I feel like if you didn't pay them, that would almost raise more questions. You know, that implies that you just kind of like dared them to do it and they did it, almost in a kind of like circus geek fashion. The first time wasn't paid. Worry, you are killing me here. The more I know, the less I understand. But I think that's fine, honestly. There are some things that people were just not meant to understand. This might be one of them. Much like the Rosetta Stone, or some other unknown object. I don't know. We figured out what the Rosetta Stone was for. That was to translate languages. I don't know if there's like anything that's like been unexplained thus far in terms of like anthropology for like what something is for. Maybe like this is almost like an Easter Island head situation where we didn't know what they were supposed to be until like way later when we like consulted people and they were like, yeah, they're just like statues. Actually, I'm not sure that's accurate. I don't know too much about Easter Island heads besides the fact that people have been using their emojis more lately. I do know that they were also supposed to be much bigger originally. Like, essentially, I think what happened, and I remember reading this, so I'm not sure if it's accurate, but I do remember that one of the things that essentially happened was that they built big statues, and the way that they moved them was that they had these big statues of the dude, right? So what they did is that they basically tied the statue with a rope, and they kind of like swayed it side to side so that it would essentially like walk on the feet. and that's how they moved them. And eventually, they did manage to move them to where they wanted it to be. But after that, erosion set in. The land shifted, and eventually the statues ended up covered beneath the ground. But I feel like we would know that they were huge statues if that was the case. I do know that there are also similar statues in Jeju Island in Korea. That's kind of like one of their symbols in Jeju is it's these like little statue guys that resemble Easter Island statues. But yeah, it's a mystery. Still, that is absolutely hilarious. God. You know something that I still haven't tried yet? Orange Joe. I remember hearing about it, right? I remember hearing about Orange Joe in... I don't actually remember where I heard it from. I think it was in that Omori game, and after that people started trying it more and more. And essentially, if you don't know what Orange Joe is, it's basically mixing orange juice with coffee. And as horrifying as that sounds, apparently some people do enjoy it. I also know that there is like Coffee Coke. I've tried Coffee Coke before. There was a limited time run when Coca-Cola manufactured Coffee Coke and put it in cans. And I did have a chance to try some, and it was delicious. I really liked it. So I do wonder if you can just like make it normally, you know, with instant coffee. I feel like you would need to be very careful with like the ratio of coffee to Coke. Definitely favoring the Coke side, I think. But I do see that being possible to create in an isolated environment without having to break into Coca-Cola's headquarters and, you know, fighting their... I'm not supposed to tell you guys this. If you want to steal the recipe secrets from one of the bigger firms, you do kind of have to do like a Final Fight style journey where it's essentially like a beat-em-up video game, where you do have to fight the factory workers first, fight like a couple of bosses, ascend through the tower, and then you have to fight the CEO of the company in the penthouse of the tower. And you do have to knock them out of the window, Howard Geese style, to gain that recipe. Fab's question: what is your thoughts on Ultra Kill? I am very bad at it, but it's a lot of fun. I actually played Ultra Kill for quite a little bit. I'm not very good at it, but I had fun just like fighting people in there. Yeah, I streamed it a little bit. I had a couple of folks coaching me. Okay, a new song just dropped for the next Prime level. Oh yeah, what's it called? Yeah, I already had an idea for doing a bit with that one stage called "God Damn the Sun," but yeah, tell me about this new song. Tell me about this new song. That sounds cool. Alright, so this is gonna go like this. Oh wait, could I like add a train track effect to the pants? Huh. My interest is piqued. No, wait, that wouldn't work. They kind of end at weird places. So that's not really gonna be a viable thing to do, I don't think. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in like the New Blood production cycle. Most of all, I'm interested in that one new game that looks like Fallout but isn't. Their isometric RPG, that's the technical name for it. I'm very invested in that one. I'm also interested in Gloomwood, although I don't think I would be very good at Gloomwood either. I like them as a studio. I like their creative direction. Would not on my own play most of the games. Except maybe Fallen Aces. I'm also interested in Fallen Aces. Like they put in a lot of neat looking stuff is the thing. Like Fallen Aces definitely piqued my interest. Perhaps the song slaps. They got keygen for it. Oh, I've heard of them. I don't think like I've looked up like keygen songs, but I remember like seeing them like featured in certain music videos as well. Oh, I'll have to look that up afterwards. Okay, there we go. Keygen. That sounds... Keygen sounds like a... Alright, I'm not going to disrespect the band, but Keygen does sound like one of those, like, two-factor authentication applications that they have for certain apps. The song is basically what happened if a church organ got fused with an entire metal band. That sounds really cool. Huh. Keygen. Yeah, Keygen sounds a little bit also like a program that you would download that offered you free V-Bucks, and it just put an entire fleet of viruses on your computer. Well, the term Keygen is an actual computer term? Well, hot dog! How do you... No, score 1 for the Papster. Alright, hang on. Gotta make sure this... A key generator is a computer program that generates a product licensing key, such as a serial number necessary to activate for use of a software application. Ah, I see. And it's shortened to Keygen. I see. Yeah, I've been having to learn more about computer stuff recently for my job, and I always like it when like they have like these neat insider terms, right? Like, so for example, calling a prototyping environment PY, you know, or like one of my favorite ones to date is this gang who like refer to the... So essentially, for software development, and I think you might be familiar with this, Maury. I don't know. You strike me as the kind of person who would be knowledgeable of software development, but essentially when you make a dev cycle, I am not. Oh, okay. I don't know why I got that impression from you. I feel like you know a lot about technology. It's probably the fact that you're themed after a computer program, buddy. Yeah. I'm an operating system. Ah, yeah. Okay. So wait, I'm getting mixed messages here. So you're not familiar with it, but you are an operating system. Okay, I can kind of see that. You know, I'm not an expert biologist, but I have working organs in theory. You know, it's not like humans know what's going on inside their bodies. It's just the aesthetic. Yeah. Yeah. Something fun to think about, you know, especially for like non-human VTubers, is, and this is a fun question. How many organs do you theoretically have? Because for me, the answer is maybe 3. But for some people, it might be as low as 0 or as high as like 50. None? Yeah. Makes sense. Computers aren't particularly known for having biological organs. For now. Okay. I'm not even a computer. That's true. You know, operating systems also aren't known for having organs. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, speaking of software and everything, I found out the other day that apparently LinkedIn has been having a bot problem recently. I think like very recently they deleted like, what do you call? I think it was like 21 million LinkedIn fake accounts or like bot accounts, which is really funny to me because I don't like, it's not like in Twitter or on like another social media, right, where like having a bot account can be beneficial, or like Twitch even, where having a bot account can be beneficial. Like it's all like, it's still a scam. Like the purpose of bots on LinkedIn is still to like propagate scams, like crypto scams, job scams, what have you. Recently learned that the name of that aesthetic from the late 2000s, like the stuff you'd see on the really old iPod UI. Oh, what is that aesthetic? I like that. Fruitiger Arrow. Huh. I would have thought it was like Y2K, but I guess like Y2K would probably be like even earlier than that, like late 90s or whatever. Yeah, Fruitiger Arrow. Yeah, Fruitiger Arrow would be after Y2K because, yeah, Y2K is more my stuff. Yeah. Like that's like Windows XP or whatever. This is like just starting like Windows Vista or like, I don't know. I'm not too familiar with like the Windows operating systems besides 7, 10, Vista, and XP. But yeah, that makes sense. Like that'll be around the time when like the Wii would have come out. The really round and shiny stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I remember somebody. I don't know if this is accurate, but somebody once described the Wii as like the solar punk console, and I don't know why, but I agree. Round and shiny stuff, but yeah. No, if that's the case, then the Wii would definitely be aesthetically in the fruitager arrow category. Anyways, I'm gonna lurk because I'm gonna listen to this new song on loop. Godspeed. God, yeah. Finding a new song that you want to loop forever is really the best feeling. I've been listening to a lot of new music recently. I've as a little birthday treat, I let myself splurge on a bunch of Bandcamp albums, and two of the ones that I've got most of the Supergiant discography for one thing. So I finally have like the Bastion, Empire, and Transistor soundtracks. But one of the ones that I bought, which surprised me with how much I liked it, was this album called like 2020 Vision. It's made like by various rock groups. It's got like a lot of old school rock, like very swingy rock. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, like swing-y rock. Like it's got like surf rock in there too, but it's a lot of different types of rock music. And I've just been listening to that a lot, and it's very calming. It's very... Like, I find that with a lot of the music that I normally like, it's a lot of electronic stuff. It's got to have like very high energy, very kind of, you know, kind of in contrast almost to like my background music. I like the music that I listen to while working and while doing stuff to be fairly high energy, light on the lyrics, or if it does have lyrics, like there are lyrics that I've listened to 100 or so times. But what surprised me about the 2020 Vision album is that it actually has very little of that. Like, it's definitely got energy to it. It's definitely got like some kind of like energy. It's got like energy in it, but it doesn't feel way too over the top, if that makes sense. Like it's got like good vibes and energy, but it doesn't overdo it like with a lot of the stuff that I normally like. I listened to one of the tracks on it, decided to just buy it on Bandcamp since it was pay what you want, and I am surprised with myself how much I enjoyed it. Okay, it's one more clarification. It's not Keygen, it is Keygen Church. Ah, an important distinction for tax purposes. Yeah. I do wonder if any band has tried that. I know there was that one dude who like made a church to show how easy it was to set up a religious institution for tax savings. So I do wonder if somebody's Master Boost Record. Now, are you saying that Master Boost Record did try that, or is that just another name for Keygen Church? You know what? I'll Google it and find out. Yes. Huh. I should drink some water. Okay, we're almost done with the line work on this. Then after that, it's just drawing, filling it in with color. And then I can take myself a little nap. A little bit of nap procurement for the Pabs. Okay, there we go. Man, the little like rubber ends on this backpack are reminding me a lot of like edamame. I could go for some right now. To be fair, there's never a time where I wouldn't go for some edamame, but you know, it's never really a bad time to eat edamame because they are just like very tasty little things. They're you know, I don't have access to a lot of them. There's not a lot of like fresh Japanese vegetables near where I live. But when I do have the chance to eat them, I do enjoy them. There are maybe food in that I can maybe have access to it. But if I do have access to it, then it's an always food. Okay, slam that down over there. Okay, add this here. And over here. There we go. Gonna pop the wrists there a little bit. That's something that I need to watch out for more often, is just like my crunchy dry wrists that shall disintegrate into mere dust beyond the end of the year. I'm actually lucky that I haven't had any wrist injuries at all, because I know those are like a major setback for most people. You know, there's different ways to approach it. There's just like obviously first choice is like taking a break, or you know, learning to draw with your offhand. But even that is sometimes a difficult prospect. So I'm glad that I don't do art streams like 24/7, because I feel like that would wreck my wrist. It's important to be able to exercise moderation. Granted, you know, you always feel like you aren't making enough, but the fact of the matter is I've been making more than I ever have, you know, right, in terms of like art output. Hell, I'm making some right now, which is pretty special. And that's something that I'm always going to be grateful for when I started streaming, is just how much it kind of obligates me to create art. You know, when you have the phrase obligation, it's almost always got like a negative connotation, but I like to think of it as a positive one in this case. It's more of a responsibility than anything. You know, when people say the word obligation, they hear the word responsibility and they're like, oh no, but like, there is such a thing as like a good obligation and a good responsibility. They are things that are good for you and something that you are obligated to do. So I'm glad I found streaming for that. Alright, time to draw this cattail. Okay, around here might be... No, hang on, that's gonna cross over with the backpack there. Okay, and then just kind of doing it like... You know, could I just like do another one of these and then... See, this is what I'm talking about. I think that this might also be the reason why a lot of my lines end up looking kind of samey, is because I use a lot of this, a lot of the functionalities of the vector layer, which I feel like might not be the most beneficial for me. Or at least, like, in terms of output, you know? I want to work on that as well. Vector layers are very handy, but over-relying on them, I think, can limit me in some ways. I'm not going to go out and be like, oh yeah, I'm not using vector layers anymore, but I do think maybe, you know, taking the longer way around is going to be something that I need to practice in order for a better and more refined end product. That's something else that I've been thinking about. I mean, granted, it's still going to look great at the end because it's me, but it's important to kind of like... there's never a bad reason to improve, right? You don't need an excuse to want to like be different, or like want to have a slightly different art style. There we go. Okay. Oop. That's a little bit of line going on over there. Okay, there we go. I don't know if this is too many rings to put on a notebook, but whatever. Okay, now we need to decide on colors. What to do for that, then? Color, color, color. I don't know what kind of color palette I should give her, honestly. Maybe it's something to do with, like, trains? What's like a train-ish color palette? Thomas the Tank Engine? No, that'd be silly. Unless... No, I do think we've got a very good kind of skeleton here. You know, we've got a good first approach. I'm missing the other side of the strap here. There we go. Okay. Alright, so then... Okay. First, I think, can be the hair. So this cat is, like, extremely yellow. So I think maybe making her kind of like a tabby cat color would be slightly more appropriate. I gotta be careful so she doesn't end up looking like Garfield. I will say that I need to be careful to make sure she doesn't end up looking like Garfield, because no offense to Garfield, but I'm pretty sure Paws Inc. will sue my ass if I end up doing that. Okay. This one over here too. Maybe we can get around that by making it like a slightly darker orange, like almost like a burnt orange. Okay, so like boost saturation, lowered luminosity, and yeah, kind of like more in this direction. There we go. Need a little bit more red to err on the side of caution and avoid making her Garfield. I don't know. We could do other colors too. We can't limit ourselves to just one to specific realistic colors. We could always make her a calico. That's more interesting, but yeah, something I've noticed a lot is that I don't really have a lot of blonde characters. Fun fact, one time I tried to color shift my own, like when I had my human form design open. One time I accidentally color shifted it so that I made the human form have blonde hair, and I almost gagged. Like, that's how much it upset me. Oh, this is kind of a nice color. Kind of pinkish, kind of creamy. Yeah, I think this can work. This one can work for sure. Alright, let's see here. But yeah, one time I saw a version of my human form with like blonde hair, and it just really upset me. in like a visceral way. Like I actually felt angry towards it. I don't know. I'm just not suited for blonde hair, I guess. White hair is another story entirely, but blonde hair, not so much. Okay. Oh, we'll need to make the tail the same color. We can have a little, like, white tip to it. Okay, then for the next part... Okay, so I think what we might be able to do then is to make, like, kind of like earth tones, almost, you know? Like very... Hang on. Hold that thought for a second. You know, kind of based on the colors of this part here. No, that's kind of ugly looking. The combination of colors with the hair. Okay, we can just fill this out and then color shift it to see what else we can do with it, right? Ooh, okay, I like that. Oh, I'm a big fan of this one. Oh. Alright, let's shop around some more, though. Let's keep looking through these. Because I think, yeah, I'm definitely kind of, like, partial towards this color combination. Yeah, okay, I think this is nice. This is a nice kind of color combination, I think. And then maybe this back part can be like a darker olive green. Oh, that is working beautifully. Okay. Okay. Then we can just kind of use that color palette for the rest of the clothing as well. Like maybe for the jacket, I think kind of maintaining this brown would be good. Tough decisions. Maybe like a darker brown. Yeah, okay. Darker brown is working very nicely. There we go. And there we go. Okay, and then maybe this kind of olive drab for the inside of it. Yeah. I think this kind of like brown-green combination is definitely the way to go. Although I could try and see what else is we can work out here. Okay, that's a little too pink is the problem. Yeah, no. I think the way it is right now is the best one. Okay. Then, backpack. What color should the backpack be? Maybe like a kind of almost like... Maybe another shade of green. Maybe more like lime green almost. What we can do Hang on. And what we can do is to have some of the highlights be almost like a lime green. Like here, 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 here. Should the glasses be lime green? I'm kind of digging these lime green glasses, honestly. It's not going too well with the green up top here, though. Maybe... No, that's too much lime green. It's a little... That's a bit too much, in terms of, like, pure lime green. Shoelaces, too. Maybe the backpack can be a color to kind of like slightly contrast it as well. This would need to be darker. This would need to be the same shade as this, because these are all supposed to be like hard plastic. Okay, put this part here, this part here. Okay. The main problem will be deciding on secondary color. Okay, so we've got brown, which is over here on the color wheel. We've got green, which is over here. And we've got like this kind of pinkish, which is over here. So my instinct is to kind of like go for a bluish color, actually. To kind of complete that kind of tertiary color wheel thing. But that might not show up too well. See, like that. What I can do is maybe make it like a dark enough blue that it doesn't stand out too much. Is it just me or does she look kind of villainous? That's just me, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it's something about the pissed expression, but she seems like she's like not necessarily a particularly good person. Well, everybody has a soft side, right? I think I know how to finagle this. Alright, hang on. Select color gamut, this one here. Maybe increasing the luminosity? No, that's not the way to go. Decreasing it also feels wrong. Maybe changing around the color it's based on? Green doesn't feel like a good one. Brown, dark brown might work actually, hang on. Okay. Yeah, but it's not as vibrant, I think, is the thing. You know, I don't see this and be like, oh yeah, that's gonna match up super well. Oh, wait. Then maybe what I can do to kind of like vary that up is to have the bits here be lime green too. Yes. I feel like that works. I feel like that works. We can have also like a lime green stripe down here, running along the length of this part. Okay, then after that, maybe like a white? Maybe like some kind of white to offset that? That looks very technological though. I feel like we all need something else to make this look like rustic. Like maybe like a similar olive drab like this. Maybe tirando más azul. Alright, here's what we can do. We can select the color gamut here. The white looked good is the thing. The white looked good, but it did not match the rest of it, you know? It's like it's like cottagecore over here, and then it's like techwear over here. Doesn't feel right. Then maybe what we can go for is changing up the rest of it. Hang on. So if that's the part that's not working, then maybe we can change the rest of it to be slightly different. No. Maybe. No. No. I think it's fine if there's a little bit of contrast, you know? Maybe it's fine if it's not, like, 100% harmonious. We can figure it out a little bit more as we go along. Okay, then the rest of the pants... I forgot, do I still have the reference for the hiking pants around? I must have it, right? Like, it's gotta be around here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Okay, so kind of like a similar olive green for this part here is what is recommended, but I do want to try another different kind of color. Let's see here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That's why the color gamut thing was going nuts. Right, let's try that a third time. All right, hang on. Oh, wait, maybe we can have it be the same color as this headband part right here. Hang on, let's try that. That's a little too light as a thing. It's a little bit too, like, close to like a skin tone. So it'll either need to be whiter or... maybe like that? I don't know, having this kind of like tan color is interesting, but I don't know if it works. I don't know, black on black? That might work actually. I feel like that might that kind of that is something at least, you know, that's not nothing. And then this kind of like lighter gray for the shoes. Like a... okay, so like a large... okay, what kind of color is this? Okay, so it's some kind of like purplish gray. For the heels. That actually contrasts well with the green. I'm happy with that. Okay, and then with this purple, we can kind of go and do a little bit more with the colors. No, that won't work. Maybe this? Yeah, okay. That's maybe something we can do as well. We can kind of swap out this part for something purple like this. Yeah, okay. Still a little bit disjointed with in terms of aesthetics. But then... because I like the green highlights. I like the green highlights, but I'm not sure about the browns in this. I'm gonna copy and paste this and try something. Alright, select color gamut. Okay. Okay. So there's a couple of ways we can do with this. First, we can just directly work on it with the like the luminosity, saturation, and hue settings. Oh wait, hang on. Dude, I think I might have just cracked this case on accident. Hold up. Okay. Now, maybe then, the issue is that it does look a little bit like Ava Unit 001. Oh well, that tends to happen sometimes. Green and purple is a very common combo. Yeah, I was gonna say then maybe what we can do as well is to then... No, I think it's better not to overthink it. Okay, last thing is the skin tone. Maybe like making her very sickly looking and pale. No, that skin tone's like downright vampiric. Maybe basing it off of the fur color, but like in a slightly different direction is gonna be the way to do it. I want her to look too ashy is the thing. Tan doesn't also really suit her. I think this might be a good one. We can do some minor adjustments to it here and there. Okay, and then select... I don't know, I want to change the skin tone a little bit around some more, because it's bothering me that it's so close to the fur tone. Whoa. Huh. No, that's... I don't think that's the right way to go. Okay, this might be something. Works for me. Okay. And then it's kind of bothering me that there's no lens effect on the glasses, so I'm going to add one real quick. Okay. And then for the pen, I prefer to write in blue ink, but I think having some green... No, having like the purple color to the pen as well is going to be helpful. Maybe like a kind of plasticky purple. Oh, I'm on the wrong opacity layer. No wonder it was looking so drab. Now the paper would be lighter than that. There we go. Okay, and then... I feel like this gray part here, this like brownish gray part, could use a little bit more intensity as well. I'm not sure. I want to increase the saturation. Oh wait, maybe what I can do then is just fill it up with this color instead. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, then the last little step is just making some fake writing on here. Okay, grab the Milli Pen, stabilization 0. Brush size, let's go for 5. No, that 5 is too thick. How about 2? Alright, we're gonna be doing this for a hot minute. Trust the process, though. Yeah. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I found out today that apparently the World Wrestling Entertainment has more followers on TikTok than both the NFL and the NBA, which is really cool. I like professional wrestling. I don't watch much professional wrestling, but conceptually, I think it kicks ass. So it's always a bit. So whenever professional wrestling gets a win, I feel very good about it as well. We're gonna keep going with this for a little while. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to like... Okay, do a rough. Okay, I need to figure out a way to make this like even every time. This would be a lot easier with a ruler, but I'm kind of already fighting the bad fight. Might as well see this through to the end. And boom, 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 boom. I think maybe then, okay, hang on, maybe more like this. I wonder what her kind of like role would be then. I feel like I definitely think she's like some type of like professional writer, but I do think that I am wondering what kind though. Maybe some kind of like travel journalist that's always pissed. There we go. But yeah, that's a journal nice and filled out. Although I wonder if I made it too dark. Yeah, that seems like a little better. Okay. Man, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how it turned out, but we can do a couple last little steps to it, I think, which would mainly be trying out some gradient mapping and seeing how that treats us. Because I do feel like the colors still bug me a little bit. Yeah, colors are not my strong suit. I can figure out how to make colors work, but I don't think, you know, it's not like line art where I can go into it kind of with an idea in mind and execute on that, you know, consistently. That's something I want to get better at. Okay. Okay, this kind of like yellowish tone against the green is actually kind of interesting to me. You know, in contrast with the green, this kind of like yellow tone. I don't know. I don't know. It's like... Maybe if I lower the opacity a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this... Okay, I think that still reads conceivably as green, but without the... What do you call it? The other components. Okay, I think that might be it for today then. What do we name this lady? How about... How about... Come on, brain. You can't be this bad at coming up with names. Well, that's not true. My names are kind of weird. The names I give my character are kind of weird, but, how about... Okay, mountain... How about Bonnie? I think Bonnie is good. Okay. There we go. Alright. I think I'm just gonna end things here today. This actually took a lot out of me. I don't know. We've been going for a while, too. 2 hours, 40 minutes. But yeah, thanks to everybody who came by the stream today. I don't plan to stream tomorrow, but I might just guerrilla stream Hades because that game is a lot of fun. But thank you all for coming by. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you all later. Bye.